The light in Mountain View falls across the colorful buildings of one of the world's most influential technology companies, the sprawling campus that symbolizes Silicon Valley's confidence. Yet today, the confidence that often surrounds the US tech sector confronts a determined response from across the Atlantic. Officials in Brussels say the time has come to ask harder questions about how artificial intelligence is being developed and what is being used to train it. Europe believes something fundamental may be happening without proper permission or payment. The European Union says it has launched a formal antitrust investigation into Google, focusing on whether the United States-based technology giant relied on news articles, videos, images, and other online material to train its artificial intelligence systems without adequately compensating those who created the content in the first place. At the heart of the inquiry lies a difficult question. When a company builds advanced systems that learn by consuming large amounts of information, who benefits, who controls the process, and who gets paid? The spokesperson for the European Commission explained the concern with a direct statement saying, "This morning we launched a formal antitrust investigation to assess whether Google has infringed our competition rules by using content from web publishers as well as content uploaded to the online web sharing platform YouTube for artificial intelligence purposes." The European side argues that if material from newspapers, broadcasters and online creators has been fed into powerful algorithms, the publishers responsible for that work should be able to decide whether they agree to such use and receive proper compensation. Behind these words is a growing debate about fairness in an era when technological development is accelerating faster than lawmakers can act. Generative systems, from text assistants to image creation platforms, rely on enormous amounts of data. Much of that data comes from people who rarely imagined their work might be pulled into machine learning. European officials say there are two separate questions to answer. Did the company gather and process this material in ways that were unfair? And did the process risk distorting competition for media outlets that rely on their content as the foundation of their business? The investigation also looks at whether video material from YouTube, itself owned by the same company, has been used to train generative systems without giving creators the right to opt out. Many content creators have expressed concern in recent months that their visual material, sometimes prepared at great personal cost, could be quietly analysed and repurposed to strengthen automated services that eventually compete with the very people who created the original footage. Some creators have already argued that machines trained on their videos might one day answer questions or generate summaries that reduce the need to watch the original material, effectively replacing them in the attention economy. Another part of the inquiry focuses on what Europe calls AI-generated summaries. These are short paragraphs displayed directly in search results when users type a question. Instead of clicking through to a website, readers might see a compact answer that draws on multiple sources. While convenient for users, these summaries may reduce traffic to the original publishers. Europe believes that if the system is learning from publishers' work and simultaneously decreasing the number of people who visit those publishers, there is a circular problem. The machine gains power from the content, but the creators lose the audience needed to sustain their work. The company being investigated rejects the idea that anything unlawful has taken place. It argues that innovation depends on the ability to explore data and that limiting training processes could hold back progress. It also says that people across Europe deserve access to the latest technologies and that restricting the availability of certain material for training could disadvantage European users. Officials from the company insist that cooperation with creators continues and that new partnerships are being developed to make sure newsrooms and creative professionals benefit from artificial intelligence rather than fear it. But in Brussels, officials see a pattern. European authorities have increasingly challenged major tech companies over how personal data is handled, how advertising markets are shaped, and how large platforms treat competitors. Previous investigations have already led to billion-dollar fines, forcing companies to change practices once considered standard. The new inquiry signals that Europe intends to exercise similar scrutiny over artificial intelligence. Europe believes that if AI becomes a dominant form of information access, it must be built on rules that protect the rights of those who supply the content in the first place. The symbolic weight of this investigation is difficult to miss. Artificial intelligence has quickly become one of the most powerful technologies shaping modern society, influencing everything from creative industries to national security. People wonder whether future generations will obtain information primarily from automated systems that generate ready-made answers. If those answers come from models trained on material produced by journalists, filmmakers, and researchers, who ensures that those professions survive? Europe seems determined not to let technology rewrite the rules of information without political oversight. In the United States, the debate takes a different shape. Lawmakers and regulators are still considering their approach to artificial intelligence, with several committees examining potential guidelines. But the pace of technological development is outrunning regulatory action, prompting many observers to look toward Europe as the jurisdiction most likely to impose meaningful conditions. Legal experts warn that if Europe finds a violation and demands significant changes, the consequences could ripple across the global industry. Meanwhile, creators across digital platforms express frustration that decisions about their work have been made without transparent communication. Some say they discovered only recently that automated systems may have scanned or analyzed their posts, videos, and articles. Others fear that as AI capabilities grow, they will be locked into a system where their work strengthens tools that eventually overshadow them. This situation touches not only major newspapers, but also independent writers, small-scale video producers, and people who share educational content online. Supporters of strong AI development argue that automated systems can help people find information more efficiently, support research, summarize complex material, and expand knowledge. They say that without access to wide pools of data, systems would remain limited and fail to reflect the diversity of human knowledge. Yet, critics warn that if the companies controlling these systems become too dominant, they may shape the public's understanding of the world, pushing original creators into the margins while the platform itself becomes the primary source of information. In newsrooms, there is a growing sense of unease. Journalists are already battling reduced advertising revenue, the rise of social media platforms, and changing reading habits. If automated responses appear directly on search pages, bypassing the traditional need to click into articles, some fear the financial structure that pays for journalism could collapse. Without sustainable funding, the public loses access to professional reporting, investigative work, and independent analysis, increasing the risk that societies rely on automated summaries rather than deeply reported stories. Across Europe, media groups have demanded clearer rules. Several organizations say they support technological progress but want mechanisms that allow them to decide whether their work is included in training datasets. They also want payment structures that reflect the commercial value of the material being used. Beyond compensation, many creators insist on the right to exclude their content, particularly if they believe the use contradicts their values or threatens their profession. In creative communities, artists, photographers, and filmmakers have been among the strongest voices calling for transparency. They argue that original artistic expression requires protection and that automated tools should not be free to imitate or replicate styles without permission. The question of artistic identity has become a central part of the debate, especially as generative platforms now produce images that closely resemble specific artistic styles.